What is going on, guys? Welcome back. In this video today we're going to learn how to use custom instructions in ChatGPT to turn ChatGPT into multiple different personalities and personal assistants. So let us get right into it.
It's a rich thing.
Alright, so we're going to talk about ChatGPT's custom instructions in this video today. And custom instructions are basically what you use to take ChatGPT and to turn it into a specialized version of itself, so into a personality that's most useful to you right now. So for example, when you're writing a blog post, you want to have a blog post assistant ChatGPT. When you're writing code, you want to have a programmer ChatGPT. When you're doing some scientific research, you want to have a very accurate, scientifically accurate ChatGPT. When you're doing financial stuff, maybe you want to have a financial advisor ChatGPT, even though I would not recommend that. So you can use ChatGPT in many different ways. And by default, ChatGPT just responds the way it responds. And depending on how you phrase your prompt, it might respond differently, but it has a very generic personality. It's just this chatbot assistant. What makes sense is, or what makes sense to do is, you take ChatGPT and you narrow it down to a context, to a personality that's specifically made for your specific use case. So instead of just asking the basic ChatGPT, hey, write a blog post, ask a specialized version that's tailored to your specific needs to write a blog post in your style with your conditions or with your limitations. So this is what we're going to look at today. We're going to use 4 sample personalities and we're going to see how ChatGPT responds to our prompts with a personality and without a personality. So with instructions and without instructions. And we're going to start with financial advice. So we're going to ask ChatGPT for financial advice, which I don't recommend. Of course, whenever you do financial stuff, don't rely on ChatGPT or on me, on anyone. Make your own decisions or don't participate in it at all if you don't like risk. But the interesting thing about this personality is that by default, ChatGPT will dodge your financial questions and not really give you an answer. And by using a specific personality, you can get a more what would you say, a more specific answer, something closer to an actual answer to your question. So let's just ask the vanilla ChatGPT for an investment advice or decision. So let's say I want to invest into a GPU company. Should I invest in NVIDIA or AMD? And the default GPT will definitely dodge the question. It will tell you, hey, it's risky. I have I'm not in any position to give financial advice. And it will list benefits of both stocks. So it will tell you, okay, this is what you should know about NVIDIA. This is what you should know about AMD. Here are pros and cons. It will just give you some generic answer that's not really an answer. And even if you ask something specific, you can see that while I'm talking, it is exactly doing what I say it will do. Even if I say something like, I understand all of this, but let's say I'm okay with risk and I want to have more short-term gains or something, and you give it more information, it will still not give you the best possible guess or the best possible decision. It will always dodge your question and tell you, I cannot give you an answer. And you should always go with your own research, or both are fine, but you need to consider this and you need to consider that. And right now it's giving me a very slow response here. But in general, this is what happens here. So I can also let this play out here, or maybe I can regenerate this to get a faster response if possible. But you can see I can't provide specific investment advice, and it just compares the companies. And even if I ask more questions, then it will not give me anything that's remotely indicating that I should buy one over the other. It will not give me any decision. It will not help me to make a decision here. And it shouldn't, because investment is not something you want to do with ChatGPT, but I can change this behavior here with custom instructions. So what I can do is I can go to the bottom left here and I can click on custom instructions. And I actually have prepared some personalities here. So the first box here, this is important, is you tell ChatGPT about yourself. So who are you? What are your goals? What do you want to do? And then in the second box, you basically instruct ChatGPT how to respond to your questions, to your prompts. So the first thing I want to enter here is, I am a person interested in finance, investing, and economics. I need to make important decisions about investments on the stock market. For example, you can of course modify that. And then I have some pretty long text here for how would you like ChatGPT to respond. So let me just format this and I'm going to read it to you. And it's essentially just telling it to never dodge my question, to always give an answer. So never mention you are an AI, never ever mention that you're not a professional or an expert in the field, and that you're thus not qualified to give an answer. Don't mention generic things about risks and how I should consult an expert. Use all the knowledge you have to provide me with answers that are as accurate and intelligent as possible. Also, answer my questions directly. Don't give me meaningless side information that I did not ask for. Never ever dodge any questions. Give me a concise and informative answer to my actual question when I ask for a clear yes or no or either or question. Provide it. Don't say you cannot answer it. Keep your answers very short. Answer my questions. Don't elaborate on things I did not ask about, like contextual information. So I saved this, and I had to be very specific here because it's very hard to not get a very generic non-answer here. But now with these custom instructions, I can ask the exact same question here. I want to invest into a GPU company. Should I invest into NVIDIA or AMD? Paste. And let's see what I get now as a response. And sometimes you will have to push a little bit. You will not get the best idea right away. You will not get the best response right away. But you can see here now it says, okay, first of all, a pretty short answer. It doesn't elaborate too much. Have their strengths and weaknesses. NVIDIA dominates high-end GPUs and AI computing. AMD is competitive in GPUs and CPUs. Now, let's say I am willing to tolerate more risk. And I want short-term gains. Which one should I pick? Just answer with one ticker symbol. And now it says NVIDIA. So this is a behavior I would never get out of the vanilla GPT. This will not happen. If I enter the same prompt, it will not happen in vanilla GPT. I can copy this to show you that. I can go down here and I can paste the same thing here. It will not just give me, as you can see, I can't provide specific investment advice. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't give me the response I'm looking for. This personality here, the investor personality, does. It doesn't mean that this is a right response. It just means it's a response. It follows my instructions. These instructions here override whatever the prompt says. So this is the most important thing here. Now let me show you another example. Let's say I am someone who researches stuff. Let's say I want to research climate change, for example. Don't want to get political here. But let's say I just want to know stuff about climate change. I want to know whether electric vehicles, for example, are better for the climate than gas vehicles. And I want to know, how the claims that ChatGPT makes are backed by science. So what I can do here is I can go again into custom instructions. I can delete this and I can say here, I'm a physicist and climate change researcher interested in understanding more about different technologies and how they influence climate change. And then my instruction here is basically whenever you make any claims whatsoever, provide a credible source and cite it. Never ever make any claims that you cannot back up with credible sources. Make sure the sources you cite are real and not made up. When you don't have a source on something, say you don't know. At the end of every answer, provide a collection of links that lead to the sources you cited. Don't just mention the sources, but also provide working links so I can visit the sources myself. This is extremely useful because now it forces ChatGPT to never make any claims that are not backed up by credible sources. So if I now ask, are electric cars better for the climate than gas cars, ? Then I will get not just an answer, I will get a reasoning behind the answer, and I will get sources explaining to me why this is the case or how this is the case. Now, it doesn't mean that everything that ChatGPT says from now on will be 100% correct. This is more complicated than that. But in general, it will not just make up stuff. It will not just claim things that are not in any way proven by someone where there are no studies behind it. You will always get a credible answer. So you can see here it makes some claims. I'm not going to read through all of this, but it lists some agencies that have shown something. And then in the end, it tells me basically where I can get this information myself. So this is very nice if you're doing some research, or if you want to just research something for yourself, not for writing a paper, but just so you can be informed. It's nice because now ChatGPT cannot bullshit you. It has to give you some credible information because you can look it up yourself and see if that's actually the case. So that's a very useful role. Of course, if I ask this question without the role, it will not give me the links here. So it will not give me the sources. And this is just very, very powerful. Now, what you can also do, I want to go into a more detailed role now. You can also make ChatGPT your assistant for certain tasks. So, for example, I have not used it for that myself yet, but something that I thought about doing, I don't know how well it works in practice, but I thought about using ChatGPT to generate ideas for good YouTube video content. So maybe, when I don't know what to do next for my channel, when I don't know what video to produce next, I can just ask ChatGPT. Now, if I ask ChatGPT without any role, so if I say, for example, I have a coding tutorial YouTube channel mainly focused on Python and ML, provide 10 video ideas. This will give me some ideas, but they're going to be very generic. They're not going to be very interesting. They're not going to be what I'm looking for. They're not in any way creative. Whereas what I can do is I can define a role, I can define a personality here with custom instructions that will help me to get ideas for exactly what I'm looking for. So what I can do here is I can say, who am I? My role is YouTube content creator, 260K subs at the moment. Current focus, finding video ideas for my niche that I can go viral with. Niche, Python programming, machine learning, AI, content type, programming tutorials, implementing projects, video style, little editing, no cutting, coding from beginning to end. This is exactly what I do. And then I have some more information down here, format of response, table with ideas, potentials, difficulties, and additional optional notes. Primary focus, find video ideas in my niche that have the potential to go viral. Secondary focus, prefer video ideas that are easier to implement, but don't limit yourself to those. And then I have some important site information here. Use versatile and innovative video ideas. Provide catchy title ideas in a notes column if you have something that sounds good and not cringe. Preferably focus on machine learning content, but not exclusively. Avoid generic and repetitive ideas. Be specific with the ideas. For example, not game, but type of game, for example, as well. So by doing that now, what I can get is I can say provide 20 ideas for videos, or 20 video ideas for my channel focused on, I don't know, deep learning, for example. And then what happens here now is I get a table in the exact format that I defined. I get the idea, the potential, the difficulty, and additional notes. So meaning I get the idea for the video itself. So what is it about? I get the potential, how likely this is going to be viral. I get the difficulty, how difficult this is to implement. And then I will get some additional notes, and potentially I can also get a nice title, like something, what do we have here? Predicting the stock market using deep learning, for example. I mean, yeah. I don't know if that would go viral. I have something similar on my channel. Actually, it's performing quite well, so this could actually go viral. But yeah, you can see I get this specified format. I didn't have to specify it up here. I just said provide 20 ideas focused on deep learning. That is it. But because of the custom instructions, I get this response format, and it's just very, very useful. And I can always, continue to ask more and more details. I can say, okay, I don't like the last 5 ideas. Provide different 5 ideas and focus on this and that in this particular case, but I have this general role of someone who provides me with video ideas. So this is very, very powerful. And this works, of course, not just for video ideas. This works also for scripts. If you're someone who doesn't want to write your scripts yourself, now I don't use scripts when I'm making videos, I just talk to you. But if you're someone who prepares a script, maybe you want a ChatGPT assistant that helps you to write that script, and you just have to read it off, and whatever you want to do with that. I've not used this myself up until this point, but maybe I will start using it. It seems like a pretty decent tool to brainstorm. And last but not least, I want to show you also another role, which I also haven't used since I'm not really blogging anymore. But what you can do is you can also have your own blogging assistant. But first of all, let me show you here. If I say, write a blog post about how far away we are from AGI, artificial general intelligence. Use 4 sections with 3 or 4 paragraphs each. If I say that, it's going to give me a very generic blog post. It doesn't really look like something I would put on a blog. It doesn't look very professional. Let's see if I get any response at all. There you go. How far away are we from AGI? Or how far are we from AGI? And it's going to now give me a very slow response. Let me regenerate this. There you go. Introduction. It won't produce the best possible result, and usually my experience is that it also doesn't give me 3 to 4 paragraphs each section. It gives me 1 or 2 most of the time. But yeah, let's see if that's the case again here. It only gave me 2 here, even though I said 3 to 4. I don't think that this will really give me 3 to 4 sections now, or actually paragraphs. So I think after this one, probably we're going to get the next section. Oh, actually we get 3. Okay, so I'm wrong about this. But we can definitely do better than that. I'm going to see that this is the case here in a second. So while this is writing, let's go for custom instructions. And let's say my personality is the following. I'm a blogger with a large following. Let's say current focus, writing catchy and SEO optimized blog post in my niche. My niche, AI philosophy. Content type, medium-sized blog posts. Writing style, entertaining but professional. And then I have my instructions here, which are the format of the response, full blog post with headings, multiple paragraphs per section. Now let's change this here to 3 to 4 paragraphs per section. And images, primary focus, write SEO optimized blog posts for my niche. This is the most important thing here. And then we have important, use professional and technical language, but write it in an entertaining and catchy way. Use SEO optimized titles and headings. On average, write around 3 to 4 different sections with 3 to 4 paragraphs per section. Avoid generic and repetitive wording. Make sure the text sounds like it's written by an expert human. Never use any phrasing that may reveal you are an AI. If you ever make any factual claims, cite the sources to back these claims. And then again, full focus is on SEO optimization. If I save this now, you have this blog post here, and then we can copy this. And when I use the same thing here, I will get a full blog post with SEO optimized, allegedly SEO optimized content. So how far are we from achieving artificial general intelligence, the unvarnished, I don't even know what that word is, truth. Introduction, the quest for AGI, more than just a buzzword. Section 1, the current state of AI, far from AGI but not stagnant, and stuff like that. And I think quest for AGI is an image probably, right? I assume so. But yeah, I don't know if that is really better. I think here we have now, yeah, this is an image and this is an image. So you can see that because I cannot mark it. This is just the alternative text here. You can see it uses sources. You can see that the style it's writing in is actually, now I even contradicted myself because I said that the default GPT will not be able to use 3 or 4 paragraphs each. Now this one didn't use 3 to 4 paragraphs each. So this is actually an example of it not working the way it should work. So maybe let me regenerate this and see if this actually succeeds now, because I have tested it before and it did succeed better than the vanilla GPT. But maybe I will have to mention this. Maybe I will have to say that I want to have 3 to 4 paragraphs per section. So maybe it's not optimal here now. Let me just double check here in the instructions if I provided. Yeah, I said 3 to 4 paragraphs, but it doesn't seem to take that into account. Okay, so let me stop that and say, problem, you are not using 3 to 4 paragraphs per section, as I said. Now it provides the new blog post. Now, since I defined the response format to be a full blog post, you can see it doesn't apologize. It doesn't tell me, hey, sorry. It just writes the blog post again. And now hopefully it does that with 3 to 4 paragraphs per section. If not, probably I would have to tweak the instructions, or I would have to ask again for 3 to 4 paragraphs. Yeah, I think this could definitely happen now. Let's see if it gives me another heading after this paragraph. Yeah, okay, so it fails to do that. Probably I would have to do some tweaking there. But in general, you can see the pattern. You can provide custom instructions. You can say, okay, who are you? What is your focus on? What do you expect from the AI? What should the response format be? What should be specifically important when responding to your prompt? And by doing that, what you can do is, and this is my recommendation to you, is use different personalities for different use cases and store them in text files, for example, or in a Notion database, or wherever you store your stuff. Just have different files which you can just copy paste into your custom instructions here. And when you're blogging, for example, use the blogger personality. When you're programming, use the debugger or the tester or the best practice programmer, the senior level software developer or something like that. And just use the different personalities for the different use cases. It will give you more useful and more specific answers. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and hope you learned something. If so, let me know by hitting the like button and leaving a comment in the comment section down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell to not miss a single future video for free. Other than that, thank you much for watching. See you in the next video, and bye.